Hi, welcome to today's video. My name is Paul. So this week I'm going to talk a little bit about these sort of floral still lifes that I sometimes do. So these ones, the two examples you can see on screen, are both done with charcoal. The one on the left, if you watched last week's video, you'll have seen me doing that, or at least a little bit of that, and I was using the thing called a kneadable eraser to create those white flowers. This week I thought maybe I'd talk a little bit about creating images like the one on the right. Not this exact image, but this sort of style or this approach. So using the charcoal to create sort of dark shapes for flowers. I should say at this point that the flowers, the vases, it's all just my imagination. These are not real flowers. I have no idea what type of flowers they might be. It's just smudges of charcoal on a piece of paper that you could interpret as flowers in a vase. I prefer to work from imagination, even with landscapes, the same thing. That's usually what I do. Different artists have different approaches. With this sort of style of painting and drawing, some of the influences I like would be Vincent van Gogh and his famous sunflowers. He did work, as far as we know from his letters and things, that he worked from observation. So he actually had a vase with some sunflowers in them and he copied what he saw. Other artists, like the French artist who was around about same sort of time-ish, Renoir, he did do observation, but he also did a lot of imagination as well. A mixture of both. Some of his paintings, for example, you have, as well as the flowers in the vase, you have some butterflies sort of flitting around the flowers. And of course in real life it would be hard to get a butterfly to stay still while you try to paint or draw it from observation. But you can use imagination, you can use memory. So he did a bit of that as well. Mine is completely from imagination. In this drawing, I won't be using a kneadable eraser. I say it's a different style from last week's video. These little drawings, like I said, for me it's just fun, it's just enjoyment. If you want to get something educational from it, I would say it's good for understanding composition, or to get some sort of grasp of composition, especially if you do it the way I'm doing it, from imagination. So you're not copying anything, so your composition is entirely up to you. What shape is the vase? How big is it? What proportion of the paper does it take up? How big are the flowers? How many flowers? How do you arrange those on the paper? All of these are compositional choices. Now, that sort of way of thinking, you can carry that over to landscape drawing and painting, or portraits, or animals, or whatever it is that you usually draw and paint. It is a useful thing to think about, and just it's gaining experience in thinking about composition. Again, with composition, I don't think there's any right or wrong so much. It's more just what happens if I add an extra flower in. Does it look better? Does it look worse? If I increase or decrease the size of the vase, and so on. Just thinking about those little things. So the one on the left, the image on the left, is another example, recent one. Again, charcoal on paper. The one on the right is also charcoal on paper, but I added a bit of color with soft pastels. Soft pastels and charcoal, you can use them together. They're both dry media. They'll work fine together. Anyway, I say, just have fun with these. They are enjoyable to do. You don't need lots of fancy equipment or materials. And, from an educational point of view, it is a good way of thinking about composition. And just, if you want to try working from imagination, it's a good place to start, maybe. If you made it this far in the video, thank you for watching and listening. Hopefully see you again in next week's video.